Okay.
We having fun, we ain't faking. You not invited to the basement.
Okay. We're back. That was you. That was
yeah,
fun.
that was me. That was fun, wasn't it? That was fun.
so
It was fun to have Ty here. It's fun to be here for real.
Aw.
Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Escape from SF. Shouts out Aaron.
There we go.
Yeah. I watch this a lot, honestly. I feel like I've been putting it on. I've been putting it on when I'm in the studio, and I just let it run. Because at this point, I've seen all the episodes a few times, so I'm like, I'm just like
MVP watcher.
Hey,
there we go.
I mean, it takes a good hour to watch these things, and it's good because y'all have good conversations though. It's not dry.
I mean, we try and keep it like pretty music-ish heavy, centered, which I think is pretty good. I think that's like the only thing that I know how to talk about a lot.
You could talk about some nerd shit too.
That's true. That's definitely true. But I don't think anyone wants to hear me talk about fucking Star Wars.
I mean, not in this format. You'd have to you need some more colors behind you or popping effects.
Or get a little Pokemon in here. Damn, you drop some shit.
I said sorry to the rest of them, but it's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So Ty was just here. We were just finishing up, and then there was a bunch of stuff I don't know that we could talk about.
Yeah.
How do you feel like things have changed in the last year for you?
In the last year,
6 months, a year. Let's say that.
So even though my Rebel U thing never got posted, I felt the energy that came with that project. I mean, it's okay because we've done it a few times, but I feel like that was really cool to be even just like in the room for a lot of the tapings of those episodes because it was like
that's right, yeah.
Because I got to talk to everybody and that was cool because you'd be like, yeah, this is Frosty. You see this hoodie? You know the hoodie? Yes, this one. And
that's
so
funny.
Between that and I feel like that's one thing, but then at the end of 2022, like being on stage a few times with everybody because that was like, okay, cool, see y'all. Like also just like deciding that okay, we're gonna be a band, we're gonna call it the band. It's Rebel Status. That's the name. Nothing else is gonna fit. Because we really thought about, we were like, maybe we're being lazy, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because the name's in front of us and we shouldn't like think too hard about it. Like,
yeah, and I mean, you guys know I'm willing to fucking push that with y'all. That makes it so much easier for me to
he said now I don't have to worry about first off, you don't have to worry about like people saying they want to be a part of it and then catting off on it because you know that we're all like we all believe in what's more than the clothes. It's the collective that you're always talking about you want to make. So
yeah, it's crazy because I remember like making this brand and like thinking about that, but then like for years, I had no one but myself. So I was like, it's the collective and it's one person.
Collective of one.
Yeah. And then now it's like an actual thing. Yeah. And it's kind of funny too, because I remember like days where like right before Rebel U started really, yesterday was the anniversary, by the way.
I saw that.
Yeah. But so like, I remember like right before it came out, there was a bunch of people who were like, yo, like, let's all work together and let's make like a group. But then it was like they never really wanted to do anything. Like I'd be like, oh, well, I'm doing this. Can you come to this? Or I'm doing this. Can you come to this? Or I had so much stuff going on and they'd always be like, no, but can you do my thing? And I'd be like, I'm doing like 20 things and you want me to do 21 things now? Like it was just always a lot.
Add another person to the collective that does the visual edit things.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the best way to get somebody else to do it, because
for real,
or at least like get somebody else to take on what you taking on, so that you can do that or whatever. It don't make sense sometimes.
Yeah, no, it has to be like a good trade off. Like, I mean, for instance, like Aaron's here, but like Aaron came up to me with the idea, and you were all like, "Yo, like, do you want to do the podcast? Because I don't really know how to talk all the time, and I don't really, I don't have the capacity to do this all the time." And I was like, "Well, I can shape out like an hour of my day, like every week, and just be like, let's just talk." Because that's all the fuck I want to do. I feel like I'd never talk. I mean, I feel like me especially, like we're like best friends and we only talk like once or twice a week. You know what I mean? And it's really quick too. And it's never about anything super serious. It's always about like just what we're doing. Yeah. So it's like
weekly tapping, because I see you a lot on the internet, and so it's like, which is cool. But like that's the cool thing about that type of friendship, is we see each other a lot on the internet for a lot of like the creative working related things that we do, but then it's like we have the personal connection where it's like we can just text each other real quick. Definitely. Where it's like, hey, I'm gonna call you in the studio with him, I'm gonna call y'all, I'm gonna talk at y'all, and it's like even that's like,
I mean, it helps out a lot. And I've definitely noticed that over the past like year and a half that I've been doing this is that I'm horrible with like communication with people.
Yeah, sometimes you're kind of bad about it, but I'm bad about it too. I feel like when I want to, I can be really good at it, but I'm too choosy about that, honestly, because like what Ty was saying about being reclusive, it's like that's a little bit more of a natural tendency.
Yeah, same
like it's
here.
a little bit like I feel like we're similar in that regard, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm just gonna go hang out. Like you said earlier, it's like, you know, Saturday morning, I want to be 9 years old and not move while I watch cartoons.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like, I feel like that's who I am at heart. Like, I just want to stay in bed and play video games all day, or I want to, or even if it's just like sitting in the basement and making a beat all day. Like, I love doing that. I don't want to do that. And it's like, I don't want to do anything else. And it's like, if I could do it by myself, I would.
Yeah.
But it's more fun when you include other people in it.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I think that's like my problem is that like I'm like a big like worker person. Like I just put everything like below working. So like I'll be like, we can hang out, but we have to do something too. We'll be like, we need to do like a photo shoot, or we need to fucking go meet somebody or talk to somebody. Or,
but the part about you being bad at communication is that you don't tell me until I show up. Like you've gotten a little bit better, or
you to know.
Or I ask. I'm the one that's like, yeah. So what you doing today? Because today is my day that I see you and then go to the studio. So what are you doing today? You know what I'm saying? But you know, I feel bad. Like, you know, sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, do I jeopardize you, or like, do I monopolize your time? But it's like,
I don't feel that way. I'm sad that you feel that way.
No. But it's only because like you saying like collective of one, and then it's like it becomes a collective of two only because like I was just around so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like, and it's like the answer to that question is no. I don't do that shit because you just be booking them. Like I would show up, you know, oh yeah, I booked a shoot with blah 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 for today, and it's like 5 people come through the fucking crib, and I'm like,
okay,
well shit, I'm not the only one here. That's cool. Like,
yeah. No,
we got some new energy in the room, you know what I'm saying? And it's cool because like we always come away with it with like inspiration.
Yeah, I think there's always something like that. I was gonna ask too, like because when I was doing the whole Rebel U thing, like actually filling it out, my life was like, I mean, it was a mess. It was a lot more of a mess than it is now. I'll say that. But I remember you being there for like Mally. And
that was such a many moment for me too, because I'm watching this kid and I'm like, oh yeah, you got a lot of the things and you're really good at it, and like even just talking to you and like watching the way you interact with your dad. And was that his manager or his mom?
It was it was his auntie, I think.
Okay, well, shouts out to Mally, you the truth, for real.
And his whole family.
Dead ass.
Who else were you there for though? I'm trying to think.
Bruh, I was there for like
Gene.
I was there for Gene. I was there for Kenny Wayne, bruh.
I
was there for like a few other people. There was a day where like I wasn't there for the AF shoot, but there was a day when like you had, I think Rafi was there. Rafi, I think I was there for
Callie,
Day, yeah.
Which I still haven't done days, or no, I just haven't done days.
Yeah.
But Day also hasn't dropped new music. So.
But
shout out to Day. Yeah, I miss Day. Where are you at, Day?
Day's getting her doctorate. Day's.
Oh, is she? Is that what she's doing?
No, Day's becoming a doctor.
I didn't
Dr.
know that.
Day, for real.
Yeah, real
It's
Dr.
not
Day.
it's not just a handle. It's real life.
Damn, that's many.
All right.
Hey, shouts out to Day.
Yeah. They put me on to lots of chiropractic and herbal remedies.
Yeah, she's great at that home stuff.
Great with the holistic body health. Shouts out to Lemony Fresh. That was fun.
I still have some of those.
I definitely have some. I think I used up the last of it, but Camille still got a little thing. Cheap in the car.
Just spraying everyone to smell good.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That is crazy to think about. Do you ever feel like how do I explain this? Kind of like things have like moved up a little bit for you since like the whole Rebel U, even though you quote unquote have not gotten posted on Rebel U?
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, even without that, it was cool. It's really cool to like meet people. Yeah. Because regardless of A-Star Fresco, because that's an example of right. I sent him music and he never said anything about it. I was like, that's cool, but I still sent him the music. Like that's all that really matters. And like he didn't unfollow me. So it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like, even just like having those conversations and then just getting crazy inspired to do my own music. And like now it's to the point where people tell me, it's like, oh, I listened to that. or it's like people even just saying the name of the song. I'm like, that's cool. You at least like have seen that. Like, you know, it's like verified twice times over. You know what I'm saying? Because I got the Rebel U seal in addition to whatever seal that, you know, the real ones recognize. You feel me?
I definitely see what you're saying, and I mean, I love it too. I think it's really fun to like see people who like either didn't know you or kind of like ignored you. They're like, oh, you're the cameraman. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, we were both cameramen before all this shit happened.
Shouts out High Purpose. Shouts out Us for Us, because Damien really, he saw that I had a camera in my hand, and it was cool because, like, you know, I was following, like, I wasn't following Av. We was at all the protests, and I just had my camera on me, and I didn't drop a lot of those pictures because, like, I felt like that was the moment in time where we were just like in the streets protesting, and I just didn't think to really compile it like that. But Damien saw me, and he saw that I was doing shoots for Af, because shouts out to Af. Af really was just like, yeah, just pull up with your camera. I know you make music, but I know you also go crazy with the camera, so let's see what the camera do real quick.
Yeah. Cause I think that's how a lot of shit gets started. Yeah. Because people were coming up to me all the time for the same thing. They'd be like, yo, I need a shoot, blah, 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 blah. And it was funny because I used to take them up back in the day, but now it's like, I need some money now. Like, I'm doing way too much shit. There's like hella people from Rebel U, like before it came out, they were like, yo, you need to be my cameraman. Like, you can show up to this shoot, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, one, you're not paying me. Two, like, if you haven't noticed, I have this huge box of fucking like 800 fucking pairs of clothes.
You want some clothes?
Yeah, like, it's like, come on, bro. Like, I'm working on so much shit by myself. Like,
buy some clothes, and if you wear it in the shoot, I'll give you a discount.
For real. Deadass. I'll say this right now.
Not on the clothes, but on the shoe.
let's talk about this. I'll say this real fast. Nobody knows about this yet, and he might get mad at me if I say it, but fuck you. Just kidding. I love you. Ray Storm, the homie Ray Storm. Love Ray Storm. So I was annoying him one day, and I was just being like, yo, I need you to make a video to this song he has called Mauve. And he was all like, man, I'm really trying to make the video to it, but there's a bunch of videographers who are trying to tax me, and they're asking for like $300, $500, $600. And I was like, I'll do it for free if you put on some Rebel Status stuff. Like, I don't care. And then he was all like, oh, word? Okay. Yeah. So I was like, so we're working on a little thing for it.
Okay.
But that's the key to it, to be honest with you. If you want me to fuck with you heavy.
Hey, wait, no, play that song real quick.
Mauve, I can do that. I love Mauve.
Just have it really quiet.
Yeah, let's.
Can you turn the talk back off? Thank you. I'm doing one of those like, hey, turn me up in the headphones. I know you feeling the mood, cause I'm so incredible when I be starting shit. I got a lot of new tools, I'm packing the way I be slapping and making hits. I do not play by the rules, unless it's about speaking the truth, how it really is. How I go up to the moon, the mind is the key if you really be down for a trip. You gotta be open-minded, come to me if you need guidance, but with you or not, I be flying. Air getting thin when I reaching the highest, breathing this key, so you better be trying. How did I make it this way? See, it wasn't paved and I wasn't taking the train. I'm going higher like without a plane. I never forget where I came from poverty, but it ain't feel like poverty, I promise be. My mama did her little thing, she told me I'm great, so it ain't no stopping me. But when I get stuck in the maze, she told me that hang like this how it gotta be. Like work through it all, I know it be hard, but this make a prodigy. And I know she really be proud of me. Hustler made, it's in my genes. All of them watching me behind the screen, they hoping that I get it quietly. But that only happen when I get stuck in the back end, working on something that should be lasting. I know you cannot imagine this nigga spazzing, and his new rocket go blasting, yeah. We going Mauve on the moon. We going Mauve on the moon.
This is really smooth.
This is hella funny. It's my favorite song off the planet.
I just met him though for the first time at the Cully shoot. Cully shoot, right?
Are you serious?
That's Zay, right?
No, Ray. Ray Storm,
Ray
not
Storm.
Zay. Not Zay Storm.
Ray Storm.
Ray Storm.
Ray Storm. Damn. Wow.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oops.
Shout out to Zay and Ray.
Shouts out to Zay and Ray.
Ray, you know where I think you met Ray? Because I remember where I met, or sort of met him. He was at Aaliyah's second Haunting on 3rd when we were at the cafe place. He performed. You remember? No?
Maybe.
Do you know who Jordan Hughes is?
Yeah.
He's like best friends with Jordan Hughes.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. So I probably seen.
Yeah,
So
if you
I probably seen him. I probably seen him around. Probably shook his hand.
Possibly.
Sorry if I'm forgetting you, bro. I'm
Come
just
on.
not personal. But
It's okay.
y'all song
I'm
slapped
definitely not
though.
the same person.
No, yeah. I mean,
It's such a good ass song, and there's like a second part to it too, but I like the first part the best. But anyways, yeah, you know, I think like just the best way to get in to get in my good graces, just wear some clothes or a music video.
that'll make
show.
it easy. Yeah, you know, because I feel like that's one of those things where you say you're done doing seasonal drops, and I feel like if anything, that's a for now thing because you want people to you want the quality and the demand to be the same, which is greatness. Because the quality of these clothes is greatness,
That is
but
true.
the demand, it's not that the demand's not there, it's that you haven't
just
found the
still
people
building.
that are ready to demand it. You found a lot of people
Yeah.
that really like it, and you're coming up with the best designs I've ever seen you do. Shit that really like rivals a lot of other people. It stands out from a lot of other people's like Instagram brands or like TikTok brands or whatever. Because a lot of people be doing the same exact thing, but it's just like, you know, we got to find a way to get those big things that really catch everybody's eyes.
Yeah, I think that's 100% true. Because I mean, this year, yeah, I'm not gonna do really collections as much, but it's funny because I'm doing that fucking Letterman collection basically. So.
I mean, it's a collection of sorts because you
Yeah.
collected clothes together, but it's not a bunch of different pieces. But I mean, you know, even this thing is there's something that Ty was talking about and that we were talking about criticism, where it's like even with this, it's like I wasn't afraid to say anything, but you also weren't afraid to tell me that this is not what you wanted. But at the end of the day, it's like the collaborative mindset of everybody that saw it that was like that's tight. That's
Yeah,
what's
that's what made it work.
That's what was special. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that is definitely true.
But it's a reminder that it's like we need more than just two brains even
Yeah,
to like really get a good
100%.
idea of what we want of what's solid, what's good, what's great. And so that's what that's what's dope about being in the Rebel Status Collective is that like not in a year, because I was talking to Colo and Coley about this like even back in like August, and we were like, wow, yeah, we've been friends for a year. We've been making music for a year, and we already have like at least one project, hella singles, hella collaborative singles, and then so many things in the vault that it's like now is the moment where we're like, okay, so do we really want to like what do we like the best? What do we want to still work on? What is done? Like what is just done, and we need to get over ourselves and really just start putting it out.
Yeah.
But I think I at least have the right mindset of like, okay, no, I'm focusing on all the music I have and I'm ready to drop that. I think Griffin is the only other person in the collective that challenges me to be like, damn, Griffin just dropped. Now I gotta drop. Wait. Wait. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna be caught lagging, you know what I'm saying? And I think everybody else is catching up where they're finding like a sense of urgency to let go of the art that they've created so that they can create more things. You know what I'm saying?
I think like the biggest thing is like I don't know how you feel about this, but this has been like I've thought about this since I moved to San Francisco, and I've always like found it to just be like a true thing, is that, I mean, you know, the age-old saying that everything is temporary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember when I first moved to San Francisco, I lived in a little tiny apartment with like a bunch of my friends, and it was like 8 of us in one room and sharing 2 beds. So there was like 3 or 4 of us on each bed, like sleeping at night. And I remember like it was really fun, honestly. Like I loved it. It was one of the best times of my life. But I remember telling myself every morning, this is temporary. Like this is not gonna last. Like something is gonna happen at some point where either like we're gonna move somewhere else, or I'm gonna have to move somewhere else, or I'm gonna have to find a new situation, or you know, like you just have to like be grateful for what you have, and you have to like really like kind of push the line sometimes on like putting things out or like trying to show yourself, because everything is temporary. And like by saying that means like, you know, like we have a cool scene of music going on around here, right? But like that's not gonna last forever. Like I mean, you know, like Angus, we both know Angus. Shout out to Angus.
Shouts out Angus.
I've known Angus since he was like 13. We've both known him since he was like 13. That kid is like 17, 18 years old now, and he's making music, and he's starting his own fucking scene of music, like with his friends. And that's beautiful to see, but that means like to our other friends, like, or people who don't put out enough music, it's like, you're gonna get lost. You're gonna get left behind, and the next generation is gonna come up and mow the fuck over you. So you have to like really like stamp your foot down and be like, yo, I'm doing something. I know you fucking see it. and you're gonna either fucking just notice it and witness me, or you're gonna fucking hate from the sidelines and fucking be a loser, or you're gonna get in and fucking join the group and fucking get that momentum going for you too. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like a lot of people feel like everything's always going to be here forever, and that's extremely not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or people are like really comfortable and they think that they're like in this perfect space, and I'm like, you should get uncomfortable. You know, there's you should be feeling weird when you're in a room. You should be feeling like you're like either the worst one or not good enough.
Nothing to offer.
Yeah,
exactly. And then all you need is one person to be like,
you kind of did this.
But you do this, that, and the third, and then everybody else pays attention because someone else said it.
Exactly.
If you're talking about yourself, it's cool, and you can try to win people over that way, but it almost does more when you get the cosign, and then they're like, yeah, I like what they do. Then it's up to people. That's the thing about being a great A&R is like you a tastemaker. So it's like, oh, I got good taste. I like what this person is doing. Oh, we heard that, you know, what you got is dope because Adam said it.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying?
And that is very real. Like, it's something that I'm noticing more and more is like people will what's her name? Do you know who Whitney Chanel is? She was at the YouTube Avenues. Okay, so like I follow her on Instagram and Twitter because she always has really great advice. And she said this thing where it's like there's a lot of people who what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, there's a lot of people who think that they're doing a lot, but they're really not doing a lot. And so it's kind of like they're working by themselves, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's like what's the word I'm looking for? She said it so great, and I'm not gonna say it as good. She said something along the lines of like putting yourself out there alone and trying to get people to fuck with you will work, but there's gonna be a lot of people who say, I don't like this, and you're gonna try and be like, well, you should like this, like blah, blah, blah. You know, like you're gonna like hammer them down to try and make them a fan. You should completely not ignore them, but like pass them and go to the next person and be like, well, do you like it? And then when they like it, go to the next person, because then once you go around in the circle and you have, you know, 12 out of fucking 30 people that fucked with it, the other 12 people are going to be like, you guys don't fuck with this? This is pretty cool. And then, you know, like, then it just keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter about what the others said, what the other people said.
Yeah, exactly. Because eventually they'll get put on by something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just have to come back around. You got to go in a circle. You know, you can't act like every single person is going to fuck with everything you ever make. And then, you know, don't get caught up in like some little petty ass shit.
I mean, because it's always, you know, the people that you think are gonna love it are probably not gonna love it, and it's always cool to have the people who like you didn't think about really liking it, you know, and end up fucking with it. And it could be for any reason. It could be because you had a conversation with them, so it gives like a little bit more context, or it's just because like new ears heard something that was crazy, and it's like, oh yeah, I've never heard anything before that sounds remotely like that, or I've never heard of you before, and now I love that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people tell me, yeah, no, I heard that Sliding Down Mission, I was like,
me?
No, yeah. I know that bro be posted a lot, but you really listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it means something.
It does. No, yeah. And
it's not for nothing. But that's another big thing that's like, this year has been crazy, because it's just like, I went from like literally everybody ignoring me to having at least a few people like ask me up in person, like in real life. I was like, that's cool.
I be seeing people like that we both know but don't really talk, well, at least I won't talk to that much, and they'll be posting like your music, and I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
It's like, yeah. And that's what's cool. But I feel like, you know, that was one of those goals I had for this year, was like to really just like Ty said, work on yourself. It's like, it's real easy for me to gas other people up, or for me to like go and support other people. So to like take the time to really support myself, and like take that time to craft my own vision. Cause I remember talking to A-Side like ages ago, and I was just like, yeah, I always want to be a part of the, you know, the little movement, or a part of the scene or whatever. He's like, well, you support it. Like, that's part of it. Yeah. Like, that's like that. Like, that's ultimately, you are a part of it if you're just supporting. And it's like, I'm, you know, I hope other people are like me, that just like, you know, they just watched a few shows or whatever, and then they felt inspired. Like, you know, I've been writing my whole life, but it's like to be inspired to like, oh, I want to do what they're doing. Like, I think of that a lot. It's like Aroma and Seiji. Those are two people. Aroma, Seiji, and Av, and then also Callie J. Those are like 4 people. 3 of them I went to school with, and then I just like knew Av through A-Side. But it's one of those things where it's like every time, like I just see their shit flow through my feed, and I'm just like, damn, I gotta get off the app and get in the studio, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's the cool thing about the Rebel Status Collective too, is it's like everybody in there make me feel the same way, and that's why I'm like, yeah, when I see Griffin drop, I'm like,
damn,
cool,
I gotta go.
somebody else fired off. It's my turn now.
Yeah.
Which is how we all need to feel, because it's like, it's our time, but it's like, if everybody thinks it's my time, it's not just Colo's time, it's not just Coley's time, it's not just Frosty's time, it's all of our time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's a super important thing to have too. We have a friend, mutual friend, I won't say their name because I feel like this kind of rude to be saying, but they were talking to me in confidence, and they're part of a group.
And now you gotta put it on.
I know you know what I'm talking about. But so they're in a group, and they're kind of like the leader of the group, and they're kind of the one always spearheading stuff. They're always putting out music videos. They're always putting out music, and it's fucking great. Like, the music they make is fucking amazing.
Gas.
Yeah, but they're friends, and this isn't like a diss to them, but their friends just, they don't put out as much, and they don't really work on advertising themselves or putting themselves out there. And while there's nothing wrong with that, like, of course, you know, like, the person that's leading this group is kind of going to be like, what the fuck? Like, how come I'm the one doing all this shit? Like, how come I'm the one
pulling the weight? You feel
me?
exactly.
And I totally feel him and understand him on that. I think that they still have like a great movement going on that they could totally pick up very easily. But it's just a matter of like who really wants it. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to feel like that. You got to be like, oh, this person just came out. Well, now it's my turn. You know, you have to be like competitive almost about it. Like,
it's hella competitive.
Yeah, but in like a friendly way, you know. It's never like, oh, fuck this person, like, blah, blah, blah. Like,
I mean, but that's why I say, like, inspiration is not from a place of jealousy.
Exactly.
It's definitely from a place of like, oh, I like what you're doing over there. I'm trying to do that, but differently, because I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, not the same way that you're doing it. But I see what you're doing, and it makes me want to do more, if nothing else. It makes me just want to, like, excel.
And I think a lot of people got to, like, put that together, though. I remember the homie Dosa was telling me one day, we did a commercial shoot, and Puddles was there, and Jarvis was there. Yeah. And he was, it was just funny because it didn't cross my mind. He was like, yo, it's kind of crazy to think that you guys are all in the same room right now and getting along. And I was like, what do you mean? And then he was like, well, you guys all make clothes. Like, you guys are all kind of stepping on each other's toes, blah, blah. And I'm like, we're not really stepping on each other's toes. Yeah. Like, Jonathan, Puddles Club, he does something completely different than what I do. Jarvis does something completely different from what I do. Don't get me wrong, we all make clothes, but I'm never, like, looking at them and being like, how dare you make clothes? You know? I look at their shit and I'm like, yo, this was kind of fire. I need to do something like this. Yeah. I'm never... I don't know. I think that's like a big thing that a lot of people need to get past, because like you'll see somebody that like you want to either be in their position or do what they're doing, and it's like you can totally do it too. You just do it your way. Like people act like you know, every idea they have is theirs and no one else is ever gonna have it, but it's like, you know, like we're gonna cross paths at some point and we're gonna make something similar, or you know, you're gonna make a similar sound to someone else, or blah 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 blah. And it's not like you're trying to like bite or like copy anyone. It's just like, you know, it's like I saw something I liked, like I put my own spin on it, and it ended up being my thing too. And maybe it worked out better for me than it did for you, but you know, like, you gonna get mad at that? Like, sorry, like, well, I don't know. Life is life. You know what I mean? Upset. Yeah, stay upset. You're gonna be staying down there too. Nobody's gonna fuck with you if you're getting upset at fucking everyone.
Hell nah.
Those are the worst. So yeah, I think we can end of the early, I guess.
You should put more music
on. Here, like, you want to do it?
It's a Cutty conversation. We need that slap. You feel me?
Let's see. Who should we put on next?
You should just put on some Mac Dre. Actually, put Genie of the Lamp, but off the El Boo Boo. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. No, that's not the one. I was listening to this the other day and I was like, yeah. It's the Genie of the
lamp. Yeah. We gonna put this bullshit to a stop. We gonna cut the crap. Yeah, me and one drop. We gonna pop while y'all niggas slap. So we gonna cut the crap and make some keep you trying to cop. Dope, nigga.
The
y'all
Cutty
made it.
conversation, y'all feel me?
I don't fuck with it if it don't bear the stamp. I'm Islamic, the genie of the lamp. I can go 15 rounds with the champ and bother a bitch like some cramps.
No, for real though. I appreciate shouts out Escape from SF, shouts out to Cutty Convos for having me on. Yeah, it's been
my
cool.
boy.
I love you too. Right there. Shouts out Aaron. Go slap this, go listen to this. This podcast is the truth.
Let's keep going.
Goose like I can goose. I'm the genie of the lamp. The golden child, being the virgin now, drinking low and brows. Nigga, now I got my own style. You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.